Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Julie with Bookshelf by Julie. Today I have a little show and tell, and then we'll get on with our rest of our craft. We're doing our sipping craft. I'm sipping green chai tea, and I wanted to show you these. I finished these up. I did print out the this page on fabric, so then I embroidered different things, did some stitching around here and there. This one I did just stitching across the little roof line there, but this one I had a little, I have things, crochet hook, a little tiny one, and I used some embroidery thread and I just crocheted to make it sort of a hangover little thing. I don't know. I hope you guys like it. I'm actually loving these. They're just beautiful. The Mrs. Mouse's Tea Party was so much fun. I'm planning on doing another mouse adventure soon. So for all of those who loved that one, there's things in the works, okay? Okay, so this is just the finished. I didn't do a lot. I did sew around the running stitch and then put a bow there, and this is fabric, printed out on fabric. You can get printable fabric. It's super easy to use. So I just did, I haven't put anything in here yet. You know, we made this on camera, on videos. We have our little signatures in, and they're sewn in from the back so that we don't have strings up front. And this back here I didn't do this on camera. It's just a photo flip. So I thought that would be a fun thing, you know, to put some pictures back there if I'm in shot. Let me see if I'm in shot. So yeah, just a photo flip back there in our sort of gatefold kind of, you know, that. This one is the same thing ish, you know. I thought that would be a good place to write or put pictures or, you know, whatever. And those are both pockets, so there you go. Again, we've got our signatures. I used different pages on each one, and the photo flip. So there you go. Just nice and simple, but really pretty. I was trying different things, different, you know, experiments. Like with this, I just stitched that down, and the other one I did the crochet. That's a little tedious. I'm just going to be honest with you right there. Crocheting with embroidery thread, you have to take a breath, you know. It's just the thing. Okay, so I've got all the squares on this one done. What we're going to do is we're going to do this square, and we'll have all the squares done, but there's still things to do. So what I did was, this is our freebie sheet, and yes, it's upside down on purpose. These printed out a little bit light for me, so I went over it with just a pen, you know, a little marker pen, and made it darker so I'll be able to see and put it on there. And I was thinking about, we haven't used, where is it? We haven't used the split stitch very much in our, that's this one. And I really do like it. It's simple. It's kind of like the chain, only without the going around here and there. It's just coming up and splitting through your thread and making the stitch. It still kind of looks like a chain, but anyways. So I thought we would use that one today on the flower part, and then maybe our couching stitch to do a stem for our flower. Hope that makes sense. So I'm going to turn it around like so, I think. And we're going to have the flower sort of up in this top corner, like so. And then down here, I'll put just a couching stitch, put that down there. If that makes sense, I think it does. I hope it makes sense to me. So I'm hoping it's going to make sense to you guys. So I'm going to start with our circle in the middle, right like so, and then just trace this around. Doesn't have to be perfect, guys, just, you know, this is our last square on this on this one, and then we're going to, I think I'm just going to do from here down, just a kind of a around like that to make our, turn that off, to make our stem. Okay, so that'll be our last square on this, and then we'll start doing our finishing up bits. I hope you guys are using all your little stitches, all your little cross stitches and seed stitches and eyelets and snowflakes, stars, sorry, and you know, all the things. Use your little stitches to fill in any of the pieces that you want to fill in. I still think I'm going to put some lace here and there, but that's not this video, that's another one. Okay. Now I'm going to move this out of the way because I have a tendency to turn it back on when it doesn't need to be. It's a thing I do. So, so yeah, isn't that pretty though? We've done so much on this. We've got so many stitches in, and there's still room to put the little stitches. I put some over here, but we've got lots of room to put some little stitches and just do some things. So I thought with this one, I'm going to do a white flower this time instead of pink. I'm going to do white, kind of like I did with this, where is it? This one. You can't see it as good on that. You can see it, but it's kind of a cream color and white, you know, so it's, but I thought it would show up really good on this. So I'm going to pull my thread to the front, like so, and just start there. You can start anywhere. It's just a simple stitch where you're going to go in here and out there. She says. So I'm going to keep my stitches a little short because I am still using the 6 strands, but I've got a lot of curves and turns and stuff in this. Now, I'm going to try to get this where you can see it. When you have a stitch, you have it down there, and then you're going to come up in the middle of the stitch, okay? And that's splitting your stitch, okay? So we're going to go right here. The split stitch is another one that's really good for going around curves and outlines and stuff. Like any of this can be done with the split stitch. It's really easy, and we haven't used it hardly at all since I introduced it, so I thought, well, why not? It does a really good thing with this. So you just want to come up in the middle. So when you're doing the split stitch, make sure you have at least 2 strands of thread, okay? It wouldn't work any other way. And some people even double their thread. Like if you're using 6 strands, you can just double that up and then it's 12. And you just, you know, do it that way. That's probably a simple way to do it. I wouldn't be opposed. Okay. All right. So yeah, we're just gonna go around, and afterwards I'll just get the lines off with the heat press thing you do, because I like that. I like that you can put them on. If you don't have a heat erasable pen, then you can just put an extra stitch here and there, and that'll cover up whatever line you need to cover up. I've done it many, many times. I have, and will probably continue to do that when I don't use the heat erasable, because It's fine. Who's gonna know? I mean, you know. You guys will know because I'm telling you. So, you know, just do your best. And if you've got a line somewhere that shows and you don't have any way to erase it, then just stitch over it. That's what we're doing, right? We're stitching. Okay. All right. Now, yeah, I've got another mouse one that I'm planning, but also I had promised one of my subscribers that I would do a farm themed journal kit. So I'm going to finish that up, and then I'll probably be back to the mice. Just saying. Okay, so now I'm at the end of that petal, but I still want my split stitch to look split. Okay, I do. All right, so I'm going to go back in just to split the stitch so that it looks split. Okay. All right. There we go. Now, as you can see, you won't have to do each line up. You're going to do every other one up because this is a wide-ish stitch. When you get it on there, it is a little wide, which is fine. I wanted it that way. It's on purpose. For real, it is. So, yeah, the split stitch is a great way to go around curves and circles and all the things. You just have to get your needle right in there. I think smaller needles work better, but I'm using a larger-ish one because I'm on video, so I'm trying to make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing, right? Are you serious? For some reason that just didn't want to pull through. Huh, okay, let's see. And I'm not averse to leaving it, you know, there, but I don't know why it's not pulling through. But when you're splitting your stitch, you can sew through your thread and it makes it a little complicated. So there's that. So just give me a second to work through this little problem. When we have problems, we just fix it, right? Yeah. Or I think that's what we do. There you go. We just fix it, right? If you can't fix it, just leave it, because that's on the back, and we're going to cover that. We are going to cover it. Just making sure. Just making sure now. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about what fabrics I want to use for the inside of the cover. And you might think, oh, we'll just use white. Don't use white. That's going to be the inside of your cover. Use something pretty, okay? And then also, not something super thin. Good cotton is good. Cream color is okay. Something with a pattern is good. Just thinking out loud, you know. And then we'll start putting it together. So give it some thought. What fabric you want to put on the inside, and we'll put it together. I've got several different options. I don't want anything too super dark because this is more of a neutrally pastel-y kind of, you know, thing. Really, it is. So I want to put something, I don't know, mild. We'll say mild, okay? We'll put something mild on there. Maybe a pop of color with the pocket, you know, because I did say before I want to put a pocket. Now I'm going to go right under here with the last little bit of this one. So, there. Cute, huh? It does look like a tiny chain. Really, it does. So, and back down here, I'm just going to go right back down here and start this one. Okay, just making sure I'm not having anything being weird on the other side again. Yeah, you're just doing the same little stitch, making your petals, going around and around. So, and splitting your stitch each time. Now, you can split your stitch on the back or the front or the middle. It's all good, wherever you want to split it, okay? If you're making shorter ones, shorter stitches, like, you know, like this, it's kind of better-ish to split your stitch close to where it went in. I hope that makes sense. Because if you split it further back, it's just not gonna work as good to show a split stitch, because if you go way back here, it's more or less covering up the stitch you just put in anyway. So if you do it right towards the end that you're sewing to, then it works better. Just my personal opinion. There's no book that says that, I don't think. I don't know. Okay. Just get it right in there and split the stitch. Yeah, but to me, this is like a tiny chain. And it's cute. It's really cute when you're doing dainty things, right? And this is a little dainty, sort of daisy-ish kind of flower, I guess. Because this little block is, I mean, it's just, you know, a little bitty. But I wanted something cute there, you know. Now you can do it any color. I just thought white would show really well on this. And there's a lot of white in it. I just haven't emphasized it as much. Well, I've done a lot of, like the French knots and such. A lot of those are white. But, yeah, I just thought, well, let's just do it this way. Make sure I'm not doing anything mucky on the other side. Okay, sorry. Now, we're gonna split, oops, hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. Now, I had to warm my tea while I was gone. Okay, we're gonna come back over here and just start here. Because, no, wait a minute, I didn't finish that one off. You can tell if you didn't finish it off, because it just looks like a straight stitch if you didn't split the stitch, right? Right. Oh, I did that so well I went back up the same place. How's that? Oh, it happens. Okay, let's try and do it a little bit further back this time. I do try to crowd the end there. The end that you're sewing into the fabric, because yeah, I think it looks better on these little short stitches. If they're longer, it doesn't matter really. You can just do whatever. But the short ones, yeah. Okay, what were we talking about? Gosh, if you guys were here, you could tell me. I don't know. We have to think of something else to talk about now, because I can't remember. Okay, yeah, I'm going to be working on a farm one. It's been on my list of things to do for a while, but I haven't done it. So we're going to go down on the farm on our next journal kit as soon as I get that one made. Right now I'm in the middle of garden time. Maybe I'll make it a kit that sort of goes along with garden time. There's a lot of little farm animals and critters in garden time. That would be cute to make it to go with that. I think it would. I'm having ideas now and thoughts and such. Okay. Yeah, I think this is going to be a cute little flower. Yeah, I've got a lot of little animals that I can use for the farm, and I've been looking at barns and such, because you know, if you got a farm, you're going to have a big old barn, right? Preferably red, because in my mind that's just the way it's supposed to be. Okay, so, and you know, you have a lot of lazy, hazy days on the farm in the summertime. Don't know how long it's going to take me to do that, so hopefully it'll still be it might not be summer, but we can do summer in the winter. It's okay. Besides, I have friends in Australia, and they do, you know, they have summer when I have winter. I have winter when they have summer, you know, the whole thing like that. So it's all good. And sometimes when you're doing a project, sometimes you need a couple months head start. Because, you know, if you're doing something that's a summertime theme, if you start in the wintertime, you have a shot at getting it done by wintertime. Excuse me. Okay. Yep. Okay, we're going to stop it right there. Excuse me. And split that stitch, of course. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun with the garden time right now. Excuse me, gosh. I've got, come on, split the stitch. It's a very tiny stitch, so, you know. Like I said, the smaller your needle, probably the better off you are. So, just saying. Okay, I'm going to go around, turn it around. We're going to start over here at our next petal. Okay. Just little short stitches. Now, as you can see, that circle in the middle is sort of going to kind of fill in. But what I'm going to do there is, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do those French knots in there. And if you don't like doing French knots, remember, just put some beads. Just sew some simple, small little beads on, and it'll look fine. It really will. It'll look really pretty. Because, you know, little beads are cute. And you can find all different colors. And I have several containers of little beads. I will admit it freely. And I'm not guilty about it either. I just have them because you never know when you're going to need a little bead somewhere, right? Or I never know when I'm going to need a little bead somewhere. So there's that. So, yeah. If you don't want to do the French knots in the middle, just get you some beads. You can get them for pretty cheap. I mean, gosh, little bitty, tiny bead. You just have to make sure you got a needle that'll go through the hole in the middle. So the tinier the bead, the smaller that hole's going to be. Yep. And they make these, they call them beading needles. They are very, very thin. You might be able to get, I've got some somewhere. You might be able to get some of those. They might be really handy for doing such a thing. So, yeah. They're very thin, so they will go through most. I don't think I've ever known a bead that those wouldn't go through. Maybe they make them with. Maybe when they don't have a hole, then they won't. But anyways, yeah. They're long. Well, I guess they're different lengths, but some of them are really long. And you split my last stitch on this petal. And we'll move to the next one. So yeah, you can use those. Those would be handy. I did that again. Sometimes, you know, you go back through the same one, it's just gonna undo. You silly. Okay. All right, now we're good, I think. Pretty sure. Yep. It worked. Okay, let me get this one in here. Now you see on the back, you've just got some little teeny weeny. Can you see that? You just got little bitty teeny weeny stitches back there, because all of the stitches are in the front. Yeah. Okay. We're almost through with our little flower. It does take a minute, but it depends on your design, and it depends on the smallness or the largeness. As I said before, larger stitches are easier, so keep that in mind when you're doing things. Maybe your squares on your cover are a little bigger. Maybe they're, or you might do the flower to cover the whole thing instead of a smaller flower. With a stem, you might just do a flower to cover that. Whatever works for you, okay? So, yeah. We'll just get this. Yeah, but I think this split stitch is, it is very dainty and it's cute. I think it would really be good for if you were doing something for like a baby's something or other. That would be good, because it's so dainty. But it's also very pretty, so you can use it on anything. It's a very versatile stitch. You can go around things, you can make stems with it, you can, you know, do all the things. Because it's, you know, very versatile. Okay. And in a few minutes, you have, come on now, you have a really cute little flower with dainty stitches, and there you go. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back again. Yeah, it's been one of those days. Here we go. Yep. This is going to be so cute. Okay, we're going to start back over here, And we've got 2 more little petals to do, and then we'll do our couching stitch to make our stem. I don't know, we might even put a leaf on there. What do you think? I don't know, this video is getting a little long. Maybe I'll put a leaf on there off camera if I want to do that. But that's okay. Like I said, this takes a minute. It does. And then when you get it done, oh my word, you got something so pretty. You can do this for journal covers, like I showed you with those ones, you know, with the Mrs. Mouse's Tea Party cover. It's just beautiful to do that. And it's unique. Maybe it's not perfect, of course, but it's unique. It's hand sewn, hand stitched, and handmade. How unique is that, right? Okay. So okay. Get our little split stitches. All right. Now I didn't have to warm my tea this time when I was gone. It's still warm, so it's all good, right? All right. Sink this one in there. I like to split even the last stitch, you know. So I'm going to start here. Oh, well, not there. I'm going to start right here. Come out from in under that stitch to start our last petal. Yep. And then go around. Yeah, for the last one, it's just, you know, that little curve that you're doing really between that petal and that petal. So that's why the split stitch is perfect for this. Now you could do the stem stitch. You could do the back stitch. You could. I wouldn't do the chain really. It gets a little wide when you get onto these things, you know. But you can make some small ones, I suppose. Teeny tiny. That would be difficult. I would stick with something like this or the stem stitch. You know, wouldn't do the couching stitch on this at all. That's not a thing, because that's too much trying to control your loose threads, you know. Okay, now we've got our leaves, our petals rather. Yep, we got our petals. We're gonna go ahead and tie this off, and then have then we'll do our stem. Okay, just fun and easy, guys. Fun and easy. Okay, get this snipped. Yep, put that needle where it won't find me later. Okay, now we're going to do our couching stitch down through here, and like I said, I'll do a, you know, do some leaves afterwards. Okay, all right, I want to come right up and under where the stitches are for the petals, not in them but under them, like so. Just put a strand. What's going on? I got something. Okay, put a strand here, making sure I've got enough, right? and then end it there. Like so. And then we're going to go in here and just start tacking it down. That's why I call it the tacking stitch. But other people call it something else, so we'll go with what they say, I suppose, on occasion, every now and then. Okay, then you just find your line. I'm going to put these pretty close together because it's small. So then we're going to go right up in under that thread and put that through there. And there we go. Yeah, with something small, you're going to have to put them closer together than you would if you were doing something larger, because it is what it is. So, and then that is what it is too. All right. I've got so many things planned for today. I have a to-do list. Do you guys do that? I always have a to-do list. I'm doing some cutouts for some more paper dolls. And I've got a Friday freebie that I'm working on, getting prepared to do a Friday freebie video. And I'm doing this, and I have to edit this video. And I have laundry, you know, all the things, all the things I have to do. So if I make a list, then I don't forget. So I'm very listy. Okay. I'm very silly too sometimes. So, but we must laugh at ourselves, right? Or I must laugh at myself, because that is how I am. I'm going to make sure I'm not... Okay. Yeah, I am too. I don't want it to be on the front of the page. I mean, the front of the page. I don't want it to be on the front of the cover. I just want it to be back here. Yep. Okay. Since our video did get a little bit long-ish today, I'm going to do the French knots off because I've done loads on here. Stick that over there and snip this off for sure. So we've got our flower with our, oh, let me do that. Let's see. We've got our flower with our couching stitch, and I'll put, you know, the French knots in there, maybe a leaf here or there. Just with a chain stitch or something. Just keep it simple, you know. And remember, like I said, if you don't like the French knots to fill in the middle, just put some beads in there. It's pretty. We have done so much on this, guys. There's room for little small things like the eyelet stitch and the snowflake and all those things. There's plenty of room for that. So I'm sure we're going to come back and do that. And do some stuff getting ready for putting the fabric on here. I'm going to put something in between. I'll probably put felt in there to make it like batting instead of using batting, because if you use batting, some of it's really thick and it just gets complicated. I'd rather use felt. You've got more control over it and you can keep it where you want it to be. Because I want to do all this on raw edge. Now in future, we will do some where we hem it down and all that. It's not hard, I promise. I will show you how to do it really easy, okay? But for this one, I wanted to just keep everything on the raw edge. So I'm going to use some felt for batting instead of, you know. So I'll probably get some of that. Just thinking out loud while my thing's heating up. I want to make sure that I have, this is a silicone mat now. Don't use heat on something that's not, okay? A little bit up there. Yeah, silicone doesn't absorb heat, so you're safe with that. Okay. Let me make sure I've got all my lines out. But yeah, I'm thinking about different things to put it together. There you are. French knots and a couple of chains for leaves, okay? All right. We had a good marathon of stitching. You guys take care. Make you something pretty today. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. TTFN.